he said, I'm going to retire, I'm going to buy family history.
What was it like for you to spend 10 years researching the family history?
Some of you know what Chinese families are like. They're all over the place.
Chapter by chapter, and then he goes, I finished. Good luck. This is a East and Southeast Asian history.
This is an extraordinary brave work.
Yeah, I think we should all value.
I'm going to do a quick synopsis of the book. The story concerns, the main story concerns those four people that hopefully you can see on the screen there. Those are the four people on the book cover. So on the left-hand side is my great-grandfather, whom clearly I never knew. But apparently his portrait was hung over the doorway of the laundry in Liverpool, Chinatown, back at the, it'll be early 1910s. So he was from the Siyip district, and I'm sure there's other people from the Siyip region in Guangdong province. Next along is my grandfather. He was able to come to this country overland rather than by sea. But regardless, he set up, first of all he set up a grocery, then he set up a laundry in Liverpool, Chinatown. Then there's my father, who is the main protagonist in the book. So the book starts with an incident between myself and him. And I go on to look into the background of how that incident arose. And that's really what the book is about. It's about my father and myself and that relationship. And finally, at the end there's me. I don't know whether you can recognise me. That was many years ago. That was in Chongqing, in China, where in the book I used part of my diary from that trip to China in 1980. And part of that trip involved my cousin taking me around various places, one of which was a swimming bath. And that's me just emerging from a swimming bath in Chongqing. So in writing this book, it's not just a family tale. It's not just we got up one morning and this happened and then that happened. It's an attempt at explaining how these three entities interact with each other. Family exists within community. Community is influenced by nation. So the book is about places, all those places. It's about people. It's not just those people. There's other people described in the book. It's about progress. It's about what I call granularity. Okay, from small things to big things. Small things like families. Some families are very big. To large things like nations. And it's about making sense through history, through science and literature, and also through other academic subjects as well. Make sense of all that, there has to be some kind of background. I've relied on historians, on scientists, and on literary theorists. Science, there has to be rationality, and literature, there has to be a certain amount of imagination. The story that I tell inevitably involves a certain amount of imagination. Okay, I wasn't there at the time. The documentation doesn't cover everything at the time, so I've got to try and join the dots. And the way to join the dots is through literature. You've got to tell the story. It's got to be a story that coheres, that makes sense. I finished the book with is that we have to look at history and the repeat of history, and we have to be careful not to repeat history. Infamously, Chinese history is cyclical. And it's driven by the question, who am I? Am I a Chinese in Britain? Yes. Am I a Briton in China? Maybe. But there's a conflict there between being both at the same time.